Hi, my name's Claire. I'm a physiotherapist and Pilates instructor from Sunnydale Physiotherapy here in Brighton in the UK. Welcome to this beginners back strengthening exercises, Pilates exercises, sorry. We're going to start by lying down on our back, so come and join me. The only thing you need for this is either a mat, or you can just do it on your floor. Just got a small rolled up towel here, or you can just use a cushion, that's absolutely fine. So if you come and lay down onto your back, arms down by your side, find your neutral pelvis now and engage your centre muscles. So there's another video actually on how to find your centre muscles and how to do your neutral pelvis and set up. This is one thing that we pretty much do in every Pilates exercise. So it's worth having a look at that video if you're not sure what I'm talking about there. So your feet should be hip distance apart, arms down by your side, shoulders melting down towards the floor or the mat. Nice deep breath in to begin. And then you're going to lower the right knee down towards the floor, breathing out as you do this. Breathe in to bring the knee back up. Breathe out, the left knee comes down towards the floor. Breathe in, lift the left knee up towards the ceiling. Breathe out and the other side. Lovely. So the things to look out for when you're doing this are making sure that the leg that's not moving is pointing up towards the ceiling there with that knee, and it's nice and still. And as you lower that leg down to the floor, that you're not lifting up through the other side of your hip. Okay, lovely. Let's just do one more on each side. Beautiful. So just take that knee down towards the floor, keeping everything really nice and still here through your centre. And then come to rest with both knees facing up towards the ceiling in your rest position. Fantastic. So a little warm up there for the hips, and also just starting to activate through these deep tummy muscles. Okay, so we're going to bring the right knee now up over the hip, and your hip and knees at 90 degrees. Now I want you to imagine you've got a pencil on the top of your knee, and you're going to draw some little circles on the ceiling above you. And as you do this, we're going to keep that lovely neutral pelvis, keep that centre engaged, and try and keep that other leg nice and still. So left leg nice and still. Change direction of those circles. So what we're aiming for here is to try and keep a nice stable pelvis, that we're not moving and rocking around with our back here, that everything's nice and still. Beautiful. Okay. Let's just do a few more. So just do those circles as big or small as means that you can keep control. Okay? And then place the foot back down to the floor. Lift the left leg up. So left knee over hip, knee and hip at 90 degrees. And then start to draw those little circles on the ceiling again. So the movement for this is coming from the hip. So it's not the knee that's moving around, it's all coming from the hip here. Okay, lovely, lovely circles. Imagining that you've got that pencil under your knee, using your centre to help you control the movement, pushing that right knee into your right foot into the mat. Other direction, change direction. Lovely. Okay. Let's just hold that there, left knee over hip, and then take the left foot down towards the mat. Bring your feet together and your knees together. And then we're going to take a deep breath in, and on the out breath, take the knees down towards your right side. Breathe in, lift the knees up towards centre. Breathe out and take them down to the other side. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out and lower. So whilst this is a really good, nice stretch for your back, we're also having to use our tummy muscles to help control this movement. So it's a nice, slow, controlled movement. And then you're going to squeeze the knees together as you bring the knees up towards the ceiling. And really use your tummy muscles to help control the knees as they come down towards the floor. So squeeze the knees together as you breathe in and lift the knees up towards the ceiling. And breathe out. And control that movement. Okay, let's just do one more on each side there. Lovely. So I'm hopefully feeling a nice stretch down into the back when you do this. And just a little bit of gentle activation through those deep core muscles, through those centre muscles. Lovely, and then come back, knees up towards the ceiling. Wonderful. Okay, so we're now going to come to we're going to bring the right knee. So now we're going to bring the right knee up over the hip there. Okay, so we're going to take that right leg out straight, and then the knees come in line. Lovely. Breathing in to bring that knee back over the hip. Lengthen out. As you lengthen out, just make sure that pelvis is staying in that lovely neutral position, and that you're getting some nice gentle activation through the centre. So just feeling a little bit of work happening now across that centre muscles, making sure that the back's not lifting away from the floor as you lengthen that leg away. Making sure that the shoulders are still pinned down towards the mat, and that you're breathing. Breathe out as you lengthen. Breathe in to bring that knee over hip. Right, let's swap sides. Take that right foot down to the floor. Left knee now up over that left hip. Nice deep breath in to prepare. Breathe out and lengthen. Breathe in. Knee back over hip. Breathe out and lengthen. Breathe in, back over hip. Lovely. Let's just do a couple more on this side. Lovely. So again, checking in that you're not arching through the back as you're lengthening that leg away. That you're keeping the other leg nice and still. That your shoulders are relaxed and down, and that you're breathing. That sounds silly, but make sure you're not holding your breath when you're doing this. Lovely. Okay, let's bring that left knee back over hip and bring that foot back down to the mat. Okay, we're going to turn onto our side now. So come onto your side facing me, and I'm going to use my towel, roll up my towel and put that between my shoulder and my neck, to support my neck. I'm going to have my hips and knees bent, and I'm just going to have a look down as I lift my feet up, but they should be roughly in line with my bottom. Okay, your hips should be stacked one on top of the other, so try not to have, particularly don't have this top one further back. If anything, this top hip should be further forwards than the bottom hip. Okay? They're going to squeeze the feet together, squeeze the heels together and lift the top knee up. Breathing in to prepare, breathing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. Breathing out to lift. So this is called clam, this exercise. Clam level 1. And where we want to feel this is deep into the buttock muscles. So you might think, well, hang on a sec, I thought we're working on strength for our back here. Yeah, fair enough. But actually, our bottom muscles really help to support our backs during a lot of movements, a lot of functional movements that we do during the day. So sometimes we use our back muscles quite a lot for things when we should be using these big juicy bottom muscles. So we're just trying to train these bottom muscles to be a bit more active. And the next exercise that we do will be a bit more obvious. Right, lift the feet away from the floor, and we'll just do a few with this feet lifted, so clam level 2. Making sure now that we're lifting that knee a little bit higher, that that top hip is not rocking back. Just going to do 3 more here. 2. And 1. Lovely. Okay, take the feet to the floor. And then I'm going to float that top leg, that left leg, here, up in line. So the knee's now in line with the hip. The knee's still bent. And then we're going to bring the leg forwards. So bring your knee towards your nose. And then flex the foot and bring the whole leg back, keeping the knee bent. And squeezing the bottom muscles as you take that knee back in line with your hip. So bring the knee up towards your nose, keeping the leg parallel to the floor. Take the whole leg back, knee in line with your hip. Lovely. So, things to look out for here. Make sure that you're keeping that leg nice and high. So if you imagine that your leg is on a coffee table and that you're wiping the top of that coffee table with the inside of your leg. I don't know really why you would do that, but anyway, it's quite a useful way of visualising it. Okay. Other thing to think about is making sure that you're not losing this lovely stable pelvis. So if you put your hand on your back, and as you move that leg forwards and back, just make sure that you're not arching your back, particularly as the leg comes backwards there. One more. Lovely. Now bring those knees together, feet together, and then push yourself up and over to the other side. Okay, feet together, hips stacked one on top of the other. Squeeze the heels together and lift that top knee up. After you lift that top knee, just check in that you're not allowing that top hip to roll back. So your hips stacked one on top of the other. Now breathe in as you bring the knees together. Breathe out as you lift. So you should feel some lovely warmth and the muscle activation happening in those bottom muscles now. Bottom muscles here where I'm patting. Okay. So if you put your fingertips onto your bottom cheek, you should feel the muscle working. Right, let's do a few with the feet lifted, so level 2. So you should find as you do the level 2, that you get a much bigger range of movement from the hip. So you can lift that knee a little bit higher now. Still with my fingertips on my bottom, I'm just checking that I'm still not rocking back, so I can't quite see as I'm doing this, but I'm just making sure I can feel the work happening in the right place. Making sure that you're squeezing the heels together. Get that activation of those glutes, those bottom muscles, lovely. Bring the knees together, feet down. Have a little rest if you need it. I should say, yeah, if you need to pause the video at any point, just to have a little break, that's absolutely fine. Okay, float that top leg up now, so the knee is in line with the hip. Bend at the knee. Make sure you're in a neutral pelvis before you start. And then bring the knee forwards towards your nose. Flex the foot and then take that leg back, keeping the knee bent until your knee is in line with your hip. Breathing in, come forwards with that knee towards your nose. Breathe out, take the whole leg back. So you can check again that your back is not joining in with this movement, because we want your back to stay super chilled. We want all the work to be happening in those lovely big bottom muscles. Well, mine are big. Breathe in, come forwards with that knee. Breathing out, squeeze the bottom, come back. Lovely. Let's just do 2 more. Breathe in, come forwards. Breathing out, coming back. And we want to make sure as we come back with that leg that we're squeezing that bottom really, really tight. Breathe in, come forwards. Last one. Breathe out, push back and squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lovely. Bring those knees back together, feet together. Okay. Okay, we're going to finish off lying on our fronts. So we're going to move forward a little bit, so you can see. We're going to do swimming. It's called swimming. Looks a little bit like swimming. So we're going to start with our head down onto the towel or the small cushion that you've got, and your arms above your head. Okay, so even in this position, we still want to make sure we're using that neutral pelvis and activating our centre. So just do a few rocks forwards and backs with the pelvis. A little bit harder to move in this position, but you still want to find your neutral. And then just draw the tummy button away from the mat, so that will activate your centre. And then we're going to just start by lifting up your right arm. So lift your right arm away from the floor, and then your left. So it doesn't have to go too high. We're just starting to activate through our backs a little bit here. I should say if this position's a little bit uncomfortable for your back, even just lying on your front, pop a little rolled up towel or a small cushion just underneath your tummy. So just do one more on each side with the arms. Okay, and then we're going to do the legs. So as you lift your right leg away from the floor, keep the leg super straight and squeeze through your bottom muscles as you lift. So alternate legs, left leg coming up now and lower to the floor. So breathe out as you lift, squeeze the bottom, breathe in to lower. Breathe out, the left side comes up now. Breathe in to lower. Now, as you're doing this, just make sure that your back is not arching. So your back should not be arching more as you lift the leg up. So we need to make, if it is, then you can pop a little small towel or a cushion just underneath your belly. And that will stop or reduce that happening. And then you have to use your bottom muscles. Okay, now we're going to join those two movements together. So, we're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. So lift your right arm up as you lift your left leg up. Lower back down, other side. Left arm, right leg. And lower. Other side. And then left arm, right leg. Breathe out and squeeze bottom. As you lift up, make sure you're engaging through your centre. Squeeze and lift. Lovely. Just do one more on each side. Lift, hold for a second. And lower. Last side. Left arm, right leg. Lift. Hold, squeeze, and lower down. Just give the hips a little wiggle side to side to loosen up the hips and the back. Wonderful. So I'm just going to push myself up to sitting. I hope you enjoyed that introductory session into back strengthening exercises. Have a look on my channel for some back mobility exercises, some back stretching exercises that you might want to do after doing some before or after the strengthening exercises. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button or click below on the like if you like this video. Many thanks, bye.